Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited for today's video. It is going to be the end of year book tag. I saw Rachel Catherine do this. I cannot remember who the original creator is, but they will be linked in the description box down below. And then Rachel Catherine added 2 questions to the tag, which I'm going to answer today. It is 6 short questions plus the 2 that Rachel added. So I have 8 questions to answer, all about end of year reading plans. So if you're interested in seeing the books that I would love to finish, or just chit chat about some books that I want to read before the year is over, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Alright guys, so question number 1 is, are there any books you need to finish by the end of the year? And I have 2. So up first, this is still like going currently. This is a book in my November TBR, or that I have on my November TBR, and I like have like a soft DNF, like not DNF, but like I just took a break because I wasn't getting into it, but I would like to finish this by the end of the year. Possibly I will finish this by the end of November. We'll see. I am on page 74. So I would like to finish that because I do want to give the series a chance. I just like wasn't getting into it. And then the other one is actually The Final Gambit. So I don't know, like I stopped reading this at page 95, and this was back like beginning of October. I was so excited to read this, and then I think I started Magnolia Parks. Like I paused and then I started Magnolia Parks. I don't know why. And I haven't returned to this, and I loved the first 2 books in the series. So I definitely, I just want to be like, not be done with this series, like be done with the series, but I would like to finish the series so that I don't forget everything. So I need to finish this book before the end of the year. That is the 3rd book in the Inheritance Game series. The second question is, do you have any autumnal books to transition into the end of the year? So the first book that I grabbed for this is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I feel like I saw so many people recommend this as like a cozy fall read, and I really do want to read this book. I believe this is second chance romance, I believe. And I feel like so many people rave about this book, but I felt like this gave like cozy fall vibes, but also like I feel like there's a cabin on here and there's like trees down here which are giving me like Christmas forest vibes. I don't know, that's just where I went with that. And then the second, it's a series of books that I wanted to talk about, is I feel like the rest of the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. So I did read The Deal, but I still have the final 3, or are there 4? I still have the rest of the books in this series to read. I feel like because this takes place on a college campus, you get like the fall vibe there, but then it's also hockey. So I'm getting like the wintry end of year vibe from that, and that's where I'm going with this. So I have The Mistake, The Score, and The Goal. Why am I thinking The Legacy? So there is a 5th book. So I need to pick that up, but I don't think I'll finish all of those books by the end of the year, but I would at least like to read 1 more in the series. The third question is there a new release you're still waiting for? Fingers crossed. I feel like I've heard the 2nd book in the Daisy Hates, so the 4th book in the Magnolia Universe book, I feel like I've heard that's releasing in December, and I will buy that the moment I can and read that the moment I can, because I'm so excited to be back in the Magnolia Parks universe. But that's not confirmed, at least I don't know. The second one, so there's 2 others that I have, and they're both releasing in January of next year. The first being The Final Offer, which is the 3rd book in the Billionaire Dreamland series by, why can't I think of it? Lauren Asher? Yes. Super excited to finish that series and read the 3rd book in that series because I've really enjoyed the first 2. And then the 3rd one, so I just finished reading Finlay Donovan is Killing It, and I went to order the 2nd book, and I think you can only order hard copy right now, and I want it in soft copy. And the 3rd book in that series comes out, I believe, January 31st, which I'm super excited to continue on in that series because the first book was just such a riot and such a fun time. If you guys haven't heard of the Finlay Donovan is Killing It, that's the book that I read. It is essentially about this like woman author who is recently divorced, and she had met her agent in a Panera, and a gal overheard her talking to her agent about like a book she wanted to write, and the girl thinks that Finlay is a hit woman and hires her to kill her husband. And it's just like such a comedic like riot, but also just like a fun little mystery. And I loved the series. So it makes, or and I loved the book, so I'm excited to continue on in the series. Number 4 is, what are 3 books you still want to read by the end of the year? This was, okay, so for sure, I kind of do want to read Love and Other Words by the end of the year, but I feel like, okay. So up first, I have Icebreaker, which I feel like is just such a trend right now. So many people have been raving about this book. It is a Grumpy Sunshine, but like reverse Grumpy Sunshine, where like the gal is grumpy and the guy is sunshine. And it is about a hockey player and a figure skater. Something happens and they have to like share the ice rink, and I believe they form a romantic relationship from there. So I really definitely want to read that one. Also, Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score, I really want to read because the second book following that book comes out early next year, and so many people rave about that book as well. I'm really hoping to read that. It's a thick, chunky book though. And then the third one, I would like to start the Ravenhood series. A couple of my friends just read Flock, and they were like, girl, you got to read that, like 5 out of 5 on the chili pepper spice scale. So looking forward to reading this before the end of 2022 as well. Question number 5 is there a book you think could still shock you and become a favorite book of the year? And my answer for that is Alice Feeney, Rock, Paper, Scissors. I need to read this and I keep putting it off, but I feel like so many people give this 5 stars, and I haven't read a ton of mystery / thrillers. So I feel like because I'm not that experienced, I've heard so many people rave about the like plot twist in this. I feel like because I'm not that experienced in mystery thrillers, like maybe I'll even have a greater appreciation for this book. So that's my answer for that. Question number 6 is, have you already started making reading plans for 2023? And to that, I would say like, yes, but nothing like I need to read this book and this book and this book and this book. I've started to think about how many books total I want to read in all of the year. But if you guys have any like content ideas you would like to see on this channel, let me know. I would love to start doing like a reading vlog here or there. I think could be really fun, but if you guys have content ideas, I would love to hear them from you. And then the 2 questions that Rachel added. So the first is there a series you want to finish by the end of the year? Obviously I do want to finish the Inheritance Games series, and then not finish, but continue on. I would love to at least finish Addicted for Now, which is the 3rd book in the Addicted series. And then I also have Hot House Flower. I've already read Kiss the Sky, which is the 1st book in the Calloway Sisters series. So the next book would be Hot House Flower, and I do own that book. So if I could read both of those books to get closer to finishing the Addicted Calloway Sisters series, I would love to do that. And then I would also like to read Wretched by the end of the year, which is the 3rd book in the Never After series. These can be read as standalone novels, and I believe she is coming out with a 4th novel in this series, either January or February. I can't remember what I saw, but I have read the other 2 books in this series, so I would like to read this one so I can keep up with this series. And then the last question is, are there any authors you want to try before the end of the year? And for that, I do want to read, so I have this one from K.A. Tucker, Say You Still Love Me, but I do want to read A Simple Wild, I think is the 1st book in the series. I'm not sure what the series is called. I don't think this book is in the series, but I'm like very confused. Regardless, I would like to read something by K.A. Tucker before the end of the year, and I haven't read a Lucy Score book. So Lucy Score is another one I know I mentioned I wanted to read Things We Never Got Over before the year is over. So those are the 2 authors that I would like to try before the end of 2022. But after that, that is going to wrap it up for today's really short book tag. I would love to know your guys' answers to these questions down below as well. What are some books that you are hoping to read before the end of the year? Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel, as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.